What's up, guys? How you doing? My name is Paper Bagman. I don't know. Is that my name? Is that the YouTube name I go by? But regardless, I just saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I would like to talk about it. First of all, I guess my thoughts on the overall Marvel Cinematic Universe. Where do I stand on it? I have been watching these movies literally since I was a little kid. Every time a new one comes out, I have a huge impulse to watch the new one. I'm always up to date on which ones are coming out, and I'm always excited for them. But if I have to be completely honest, the quality of these films are not always up to snuff. Especially recently, they've been kind of going on kind of a downhill. But as of right now, I still watch them, but I don't know, I don't love them. It's complicated. That new Ant-Man movie sucked ass. That was really bad. While I like some of the movies, I wouldn't necessarily say any of them are my favorite films in the world. That is, except for Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Those are my two favorite of the MCU. I think James Gunn is a master. I think both of those films are fantastic. And I love them wholeheartedly. So as you can tell, I was really looking forward to this third one. It was a long road heading to this film. A lot of disasters behind the scene. But we got here, finally. And I finally got to see it. I was so excited. I was so pumped. So what did I think about it? The movie is amazing. It's awesome. I'm so happy. It's so good. It's a relief, you know. There is a real third film curse. Most third films aren't that great, but this one is really good. Let me get into some specifics. The directing. I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but James Gunn, he didn't really know how to direct action back then. He wasn't very competent. The CGI elements were pretty well done, but the hand action was very cut, you know. It's been amazing to watch his evolution as a director throughout all these films, because now he's just one of the best visual storytellers out there. The action scenes are fantastic. They are so well handled, so well directed. It's a genuinely amazing. The CGI is good. Good for Marvel standards. It's still a bit shaky in some areas, but compared to the sweep of other Marvel films, it's definitely better than those. The music. Now, this is probably my least favorite score out of the Guardians. The Guardians films have always been known for having really kick-ass soundtracks. And this one didn't really hit the emotional button the way the other ones did. Like the other ones, you can hear the song and immediately feel the emotion that he wants. And I don't really feel the same way here. There's definitely great emotional moments, don't get me wrong. But it's not enhanced by the music the way the other ones were. Character Star-Lord, or Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is great in this movie. He's a bit overshadowed by the overall story, and his arc in some ways can be considered conflicting, but he's still really, really good. And ultimately, I really do like where his character ends up. The villain, Chikudi Iwuji, I am very sorry if I mispronounced that name.
Scooty Woogie.
He does an absolutely fantastic job in the film. He has a really good voice. I would love to see him, or hear him do voiceover in other projects and anything, because it's very dynamic and very nice to listen to. But he's also a very evil bastard in this fucking movie. He is a real son of a bitch. Genuinely one of the most evil people in a Marvel film ever. It has a lot to do with the character Rocket Raccoon. As many people know from the trailers, this movie deals a lot with the backstory of Rocket Raccoon. We see where he comes from. And he's basically the heart of this movie. It's kind of a toss-up. You could kind of interpret Rocket as the main character of this film. Ultimately, I think I still side on Star-Lord being the main character, but it's definitely up for debate, and he does an amazing job. The entire Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, Karen Gillan, Pam Klentnoff, Will Poulter, they all do amazing with what they're given. There's not a single bad performance in this film. The story is definitely original. I was watching the last two films, and I was comparing them to the Star Wars films, specifically the original trilogy. I think there's a lot of parallels, specifically with the first and second Guardians, comparing it to A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. I think James Gunn, you can definitely see the inspiration from those to these. James Gunn, though, very deliberately decides not to kind of copy Return of the Jedi at all, which is often considered the weakest of the original trilogy. It definitely feels like its own thing, and it's very original in terms of its structure, in terms of how it's presented. It feels very fresh. Pacing of the film, the movie is 2 hours, 29 minutes, and I never really feel the length. Like, to me, it's like very fast. Like, I'm just entranced into the movie. So I'm never bored by it. I'm always just engaged. And of course, something that all of the Guardians films excel on, that's really what pushes them above any other Marvel film, is just their themes and how much James Gunn clearly cares about the characters. And in this one in particular, he has a very tough job because this film's resolution doesn't need to just have a resolution for this one film. It has to be considered a resolution for the whole trilogy. And I would say he does a damn good job at that. You know, he does a pretty good job at wrapping this whole thing up, and it's super good. I mean, it's bittersweet, you know, because I don't think we'll ever see all these groups of this characters again. I'm sure we'll see some of them pop up, but I don't really need it. I would prefer this to be the last time we see all these characters, even though that would be a hard pill to swallow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm so excited to see James Gunn move on to bigger and better things. I don't know how the DC thing is going to turn out. I know he's directing the new Superman movie. I'm sure that's going to be good. He already wrote the script for it. He hasn't made a bad superhero film yet. I'm very happy for him. I'm very happy that this was a good movie. And I'm giving this one a 9 out of 10. Thank you very much.